And Grumgur's Tavern is open for session. After last week's session where the party was found underneath the city in this sewer system here, they started to investigate a little deeper. Neptune, feeling a presence, kind of keeping a close eye on them, chased after that person, and as he got up to the point where he kind of felt that person glaring at them, they found a clue, and it didn't really make much sense at first. Continuing down through that system, they encountered 4 more clues that kind of built a message saying, "Ring the third bell 3 times." As they got down to that, rang the bell 3 times, a hidden passageway appeared with a tabaxi standing there, completely covered from head to toe. They couldn't tell it was a tabaxi at first, but they decided to follow that person down into what they found as a thieves' guild. They had some conversation between the leader and a couple of the members of the guild, meeting Lee, the tabaxi rogue that has been keeping a close eye on them basically since they met with Tokax to try to gather more information on the 9. Lee was there at that time, just kind of keeping a close eye, following. Tokax was aware of this, but did not divulge that information. They also met Tolvir, a fighting gunslinger that Anna took some lessons from and managed to change her class over to a gunslinger. Neptune taking some tips and tricks from Lee, gathering some information about everything that Lee is aware of. Simon, the leader of the Thieves Guild there, asked the group to liberate the city, get Cidolfus out of power. In return, he would offer them quite a hefty, should we say, bargain. Essentially abolishing the capturing of the individuals that's been occurring here in the last couple months, and in return he takes over the city and runs it to his choosing. Simon is a half-orc individual, seems to have some ulterior motives, but the party isn't quite sure exactly what that is. The Thieves Guild here doesn't seem to be super proficient at fighting. They seem to be more of an investigative group, so there's quite a bit of information that they may have that has yet to be shared. After getting everything that they needed from the Thieves Guild, Simon gave them a bronze emblem that has 2 daggers kind of crossing over each other, and in the center of that symbol they have essentially like a mask with the eye holes cut out and the face covering. Following Lee back through the sewer systems to try to get back to the Temple of Moradin, they witnessed Lee kind of use that symbol multiple times to kind of open a passageway. It seems to open for a few seconds, so gotta be quick when using that. As they make their way to what Lee signifies is the bottom layer underneath the temple there, Elred peeks up underneath that manhole cover and sees Traston and Leo making their way out the back of the temple, hearing the shouting of the guards that chased them originally outside the front of the temple. And it looks like John and Primalis are in tow as well, trying to sneak out of the temple. So, what would you guys like to do?
So we're currently looking outside the manhole. I just peeked up above and
Yeah.
saw them.
Yep, you are currently still kind of looking up over Traston. You kind of catch out of the corner of your eye. You see the manhole cover kind of lift up ever so slightly. You can't make out what's actually picking it up, but you do see that it kind of moved a little bit.
Did Traston notice me when I looked up? I'm pretty sure he said last time he didn't.
He noticed that the manhole cover moved. He doesn't notice you.
Is he still in sight?
Yes, you can see him.
How far away is he from where we are?
He's probably about 15, 20 feet.
I'm going to use my telepathy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send a message to him. Traston, we're in the manhole. Do you need help?
Moradin?
Elred.
Oh well. It was exciting for a second. This one, and I go over to it and kind of try to lift it up a little bit and look into it.
As you kind of pick up that manhole cover, you kind of see a very angry face just kind of staring up at you. But you recognize it. It's Elred. Underneath him, you kind of see Anna starting to make her way up the ladder with Neptune kind of still standing at the bottom there. And then you see an unfamiliar face kind of in the back, kind of standing near Neptune, just completely cloaked from head to toe. The only thing you notice is the weird crooked leg that kind of is backwards. Like both legs are kind of animalistic in shape.
Huh.
Where were you heading, Traston? Were you trying to just get out?
I mean, I'm. Where are you? All right, now come. We'll talk down. This is awkward to talk. This is a weird conversation. I have to keep holding this. I'm gonna come on down if that's yeah.
Here, get into my hole.
Yeah. Okay. Lift it up and climb on down.
Okay. Who's going first? Down the hole. Because you have Leo, Primalis, and John with you as well.
Are you asking me or are you asking Traston?
Traston. Who are you going to shove down the hole first? Leo's obviously capable, but the children are not.
I'm gonna start like if they're not like on the way down, I'm just gonna kind of like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step on your hand. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Come on, let's go.
Okay. So Leo's going to try to climb down first and take Primalis with him as he kind of picks her up and kind of starts making his way down ever so slightly. And as you are kind of throwing John down the hole, you hear kind of from the front of the building, there's a little alleyway that basically goes out to the front. It's about 15 feet in width. You kind of just peek your head up and you hear, "There's one right there." As
Go.
you start to see the rest of the guards start making their way down this alley. So, if you're gonna try to hurry down, go ahead and give me a athletics check.
So I'm assuming this goes for all of us since we were climbing up as well.
I will assume, basically, by the time that Leo has made his way down, you guys have already made your way back. Okay. So Traston, moving as quickly as he can, manhole cover in hand, drops it as he just kind of holds one side and slides down the ladder. So you all are at the bottom as you start to hear the guards rummaging with the manhole cover at the top. You start to hear the like twisting and turning and the metal grinding.
Hey,
We should relocate our situation.
I cast darkness on the manhole cover, basically, area.
It's a dark hole.
Okay. Moment here. So darkness on the manhole cover. Okay. So
So it just stays in the area that we're in, but hopefully when they look down, all they see is...
Yeah, so as you cast darkness on the manhole cover, you start to hear the guards kind of clamoring up at the top like, "Oh, the sun's out, why is it dark?" As they seem to be kind of disoriented by the weird darkness that just kind of enveloped them midday. So
I kind of whisper, we need to go.
the sounds kind of stop because they're just kind of fumbling around right now. You kind of hear the metal against the metal of people kind of running into each other because they're not quite sure what's going on. So, which way are you guys going?
I say we go back the way we came.
It's probably not a bad idea.
Since we know the layout, we can escape easier this way, and we can try to avoid more conflict.
I agree. We should probably head back.
Okay. So you guys are gonna try to make your way back the way you came with the emblem and Lee.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys hurriedly try to make your way back the way you initially came out. Using the emblem a couple of times, pathway opens up. Everybody kind of that has already traveled, gesturing to Traston and Leo, hurry up, let's get through this, because as they use the emblem the first couple of times, the Traston and the kids just barely make it through, because it's about a 10-second window of you guys running through it each time. You guys managed to make it back to the underground facility that the group has set up. So, everything seems to be quiet aside from the usual clamorings you hear from the people that are just kind of drinking in the other room. So, what do you guys want to do now?
So for the moment, we're safe. I don't think they're going to follow us right away. Because we have two options. We can either try to make our way back, or we can try to set up an ambush for the guards that come after us. I don't think we should fight them, considering we have John. But
And Primalus.
meh.
Leo kind of starts to speak up. I can try to take them to Tokex to see if he can kind of keep an eye on them for now.
That would be preferable. Mage, take them somewhere safe, and that way we can fight freely in case we get into a situation where we can't avoid it.
Okay. It'll probably take me a little bit of time to get them there, but if all goes well, hopefully Tokex can bring me back pretty quickly. And then he starts to cast his teleport spell to the Varandor to transport them as seamlessly as possible. After a couple minutes, you see the spell complete as John, Primalus, and Leo have been teleported to Varandor. So, with the children out of the way and in some sort of safety, not in the immediate firefight that you guys are in, what would you guys like to do?
We need to come up with a plan. Does anybody have any suggestions?
Oh, we're gonna try to ambush the guards. Is that our plan, or are we trying to make a quick escape?
What do you
Lee
think?
is still with us, right?
How many guards did we see, roughly?
Roughly you saw 6 guards, and then you heard the Varandor guard, but you didn't see him.
Okay. Oh, there's quite a few guards, but I feel like we could probably take them if we're well prepared. With the mage going away, we have limited resources to set up traps. Does anyone else have any way we can set up traps? Do I see anything around the area that would, like a ground that looks unstable, or some rocks above that look like they could be broken easily?
So you guys are currently in the Thieves Guild. So really what you see around you is that smoothed, marbled finish kind of around the entire area. You see, it almost looks like a palace itself. As Simon stated previously, that this used to be a kind of escape route for the nobility of the region that's been kind of forgotten since. So you don't
Is
really
Simon
see
with
anything.
us?
Simon is not with you. He is still in his office behind that golden door. He stated that
What
last
was-
session.
Oh yeah. Who was the? I'm trying to remember not the
The
rogue,
tabaxi?
I guess.
The tabaxi.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Lee.
And he's there with us.
Yes.
Lee, do you have any way that we could trap these guys? I'm assuming since this is the Thieves Guild, you would have some traps in place in case this ever were to happen.
We typically try to get by undetected. As for traps, we've got some rope that you could probably fashion into some kind of tripping mechanism, but we try to lay as low as we can. Perhaps make it a little more obvious.
With my skill in survival, would I be able to fashion some sort of snare out of the rope?
What kind of snare are you thinking? Like a net?
Not so much a net, just basically, well, it's basically having a trigger mechanism in the middle of the rope, and they step in it, and it grabs and pulls, or we could be on their side and pull the rope as soon as we see them.
Go ahead and give me one, just for funsies.
$22.
22. So, with the minimal amount of resources that you guys have on hand and that the Thieves Guild may have laying around, it would be more so of a manual trap where you guys pull it as they step into it, but based off your description, you should be able to fashion some kind of like loop where if you pull it, it tightens around and it trips them essentially. Depending on how large of one, they shouldn't take much time because it's literally just rope and tying a loop.
I can fashion us some snares with this rope and a few other resources around here. We'll want to put someone on there that's pretty strong, because it'll be a mainly manual process. Probably have the water man keep an eye from a position where he can see, and then give us a signal when they step in.
Do they, in the Thieves Guild, do they have caltrops?
We have something like that. We've got basically these spikes that they kind of explode on wood, but not necessarily used. There's only like 1 or 2 left. But we haven't tested their functionality on metal. It seems to have some kind of reaction to wood specifically. And it's just mostly so we can loot wagons that are
Well, I was
traveling in and out.
just thinking of finding some caltrops where I could just throw on the ground and make it difficult for them to travel down.
I don't know if we have anything here. Let me see. No. I don't have anything that's may stop that. I mean, they've got armor on their feet. Chances are it's not going to slow them down. Where
So,
are you,
waterman. Oh, go ahead.
where are you guys trying to build these traps?
So we came back from that side of the tunnel where we went up the manhole. Probably set it up in that tunnel. Probably have watermen cast some sort of darkness in that area, so when they walk in, they won't be able to see what's going on, or at least on the floor. And then that way we can keep an eye on when they come down and catch them appropriately.
I can
Seems like a
probably
good
only
idea to
manage
me.
that one more time. Just saying.
So casting darkness on the floor.
Well,
So
I think he was saying he could only do that once. One more.
oh, that should be fine as long as you're willing to use that. We really don't have a way to keep them from seeing the trap unless we cast the darkness. We'll be completely relying on how lucky we are at that point.
The other thing we could also do is just try to sneak up to the upper levels and go to the source itself.
The only
'Cause
problem,
no matter what, is they're gonna outnumber us no matter what.
well, the only problem is we've now basically led them to the Thieves Guild, and we don't want them to make their way back here. If this is one of the few safe places we can go, we don't want them to report back to the other guards.
The one
I
manhole that we
don't-
were at, they didn't.
Okay.
So the one manhole we were at was off the beaten trail. The only way you could even get towards the Thieves Guild is if we have the badge. So I don't think they really know where the Thieves Guild is at, personally. I don't think they know where we are.
Yeah, by the
They
time
know
that
that we're
spell
in the
would
sewers, possibly.
have expired, I would assume we've already made it past the first doorway, and they wouldn't have known what to do after that. They're probably still looking around in that initial sewer spot where you guys climbed up the ladder.
Yeah, it lasts 10 minutes.
Yes, but we can't be sure.
So Lee, is there any other way into the sewers that we could get to the upper levels?
There's one way, but it's proven quite dangerous for a few of our scouts, as they didn't make it back. It seems to be pretty heavily guarded, and that leads directly into the mansion up in the top layer.
So it leads directly into the mansion and it's heavily guarded.
Yes.
But that's better than 20 guards after us.
Yes, what they see on their side is essentially a dead end on every path. But we use our emblems here to kind of open that way up and make our way in.
So at this point, we are pretty sure that they don't know where we are, and we can safely go to the other side. Or do you think that we should try to make sure that they don't find this? I'm talking
I
to
don't
Lee.
think.
I think the Thieves Guild is safe in the location. I don't think they're ever going to be able to find their way down. Only the ones who are able to decipher the riddles are able to figure out how to get down here. And if you knock the wrong amount of times or in the wrong pattern, you are killed instantly. So, even if they do manage to decipher the clues, they don't know the secret handshake, so to speak. I think we're safe.
Okay. So we can probably safely assume that we don't need to set up the snares, but we can keep in the back of our heads in case we do run into that. Lee, do you mind if we borrow some materials in case we need to do something like that, just for the safety of the Thieves Guild if they do happen to find their way?
Yes, you can take some of the rope we have in the storage closet. I'll send someone down to grab a couple of them. And then they should be back pretty soon. It's not too far from here.
Okay. Well, guys, for the time being, I think we should head back up to safety, or at least what we know is safe. And then if we run into them, we know where we can go.
Okay. Lee kind of gestures over at one of the other members and asks him to go ahead and grab about 3 spools of the rope that they have on hand. About 5-10 minutes pass and he comes back. He's got about 3 of these long coiled ropes. They're probably about 50 feet in length if you unwrapped them. So you probably got about 150 feet of rope.
All right. Well, let's head back the other direction and see if we can find a way out of here.
All right, let's go.
Which other way are you speaking? The way you originally came in, or the way that you guys just came back from?
The way we originally came in. I mean,
Any
we
objections?
can check the other direction, see if they're still there.
Entirely up to you guys.
Mm. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Traston, you've been on the run up above the surface. What do you think?
We stay down here as much as possible. They're just about everywhere.
Can't stay down here too long. We need to find a way up so we're not stuck down here.
Maybe the guild might have a exit point that is beneficial to us, so we can come up through and go from there.
Lee, do you know any possible other way we can go? Secret passage, I know you mentioned that this used to be used as a way to get out for nobles.
As Traston said, they're pretty much everywhere. There's very few locations where there aren't some kind of guard stationed. They do know we exist, but they do not know where we plan. Which part of the city you're trying to get to? First, second, third, fourth?
What do you guys think?
Are we going to end this now, or attempt to end this now, or?
I mean, now that John's safe and we don't have any other things here to worry about in terms of non-combatants, we may as well.
Let's just make a plan and go carefully. Give it a lot of room for error.
Did Lee teach me, like, what they know about this power, the leader or whatever of the town?
In regards to Cidolfus, the only thing he knows is that he's leading the city and he is probably attached to the Fourth in some way.
Okay.
Just due to the sheer amount of people that he sees going in and out of the mansion, so to speak, wearing the robes of the Fourth.
The other question I have is do they have information on how you would penetrate the fortress or the mansion in general?
The only way that they have in is that, or at least the only way that they know in, is that underground passage that the nobles used to use to escape. That's
and
really
guarded.
It's guarded at the entrance to the mansion, but the guards themselves don't know how people are getting in through the bottom. They're just killing them.
So they don't know exactly where they're coming in from, they just attack them as soon as they find them.
Right. Don't seem to be
So this,
intelligent, they just seem to be murder hobos.
so with that being said, with all of these other guards running around the city looking for us, this may be actually the perfect time to attack the mansion. Because they wouldn't expect it. Per se. So I guess I would ask Lee where is this passage that leads towards the mansion that we can get into it?
It starts on the same path we just took. Deviate a little bit from that. We head west, and then it takes us further up, a couple more doorways, and then you'll know when you see it. There are many torches lighting the area down there, as well as the brutes that murder our scouts.
And as of right now, there's no other things down in the sewers other than possible soldiers, I guess.
We keep our residence quite clean. If something
Okay.
comes up, we typically send our little fighter friend over to take care of them.
Alright. Well,
Now, I can't fight as well as I've seen you guys take care of things, but I can definitely lead you to the passage. Be up to you
Yeah,
guys to make it out.
I definitely refer to you guys on this more of sneaking around. I've done my fair share in Varendor, but in terms of actually doing this around here, I'm not sure the layout of the city, and I prefer that you guys take the lead at least.
Yeah, I'm not from here, so I am perfectly content with somebody other than me taking the lead.
I'll take
Speaking
it.
of which, oh god,
This is not the same place that. Well, when I was here last, it was not like this. For the most part, I mean, Cidolfus was starting to gain power, but it wasn't to this extent. So the sneaking around part, I'm not great at either, but I'll do my best. I think we should just have some sort of overarching plan or goal and then go from there.
what particular time is it right now?
Leo?
Leo is not here.
That's right.
Based off of when you guys went up, you could see the sun that was slightly in the west, almost directly above you, so you can make the assumption it's probably somewhere around 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Usually your best sneaking is at night, so when the shadows are darker. So I wonder if we could just rest up a little bit and then head out in the cloak of darkness and head to the mansion and take care of what we were asked to do.
roughly what time is it?
Roughly 2. Somewhere around 1 or 2. You're not quite sure the
That
exact
would-
time.
That would help me, let alone help everybody sneak through the sewers, as well as if we were to get in trouble, be able to block some people's vision.
So maybe we take a short rest here and wait till dark, or at this point
That would
it's
also
quite a
give that would also
Right.
give some of the hornets to calm down, since they are swarming like a bee's nest outside. They don't see us for a few hours, they might chill out. Matter of respect.
Not a bad idea.
Because even Lee said that we're pretty much safe here. Is that alright with everybody then?
Sounds like a
Take-
plan to me.
Yep, I
And
think
then
it's
we
good to
can go.
rest here. Then go over the cover of night.
Okay. He kind of gestures to you guys and kind of leads you to the guest, so to speak, area. Kind of the place where the rest of the guild kind of goes to take a break. You see the rooms pretty full. There's a couple beds for each of you. So you guys can go ahead and take your rest. How long are you guys resting?
I'm gonna trance at least.
Let's say it. If it's around 2 o'clock now, then
Might as well sleep and get a.
yeah, we can probably get a full rest in before we leave. Since we know we're safe here from what Lee said.
Yeah, so Anna's plan's gonna be to trance while everybody else gets a full rest, and then she may end up sleeping a little bit longer.
Okay. So, as you guys lay down for the afternoon, seems to go by, you hear the faint sounds of people just kind of rustling on the outside, but nothing too loud to keep you up. You guys get your full 8 hours in and wake up feeling pretty well rested. So, you see Lee kind of standing by the doorway, leaned up against it, arms crossed, and just waiting for you guys to wake up. So, are you all ready?
Are we all ready?
Yep.
And you start to see Lee lead you guys down the same path. You heading in the same direction you guys just came from, making your way up. You do make a left at one of the passageways instead of going straight, and see a couple more of those doors where you need to insert your emblems, and continue making your way as it starts to incline up, probably about a 30-degree incline. Seems to be taking you towards the center of the city as you guys get to the last passageway there. You see Lee just kind of put his hand up on the wall and look back and say, "It's right on the other side of this wall. Are you guys prepared?"
Prepared
As
for
they'll
what?
ever be.
Anna's still half asleep.
The enemy's on the other side.
Well, let's do this.
Yep.
Who's going in first?
Anna's gonna go 1, 2, 3. Not me.
So I can go first, or Traston can. We both
I'll
probably
take it.
take a hit.
Okay, and how are you guys going in?
Anna's gonna go behind whichever one of them is second.
In this
Sneak
time,
in.
I'm switching out the gem in my pommel to a ruby for fire.
Okay.
Fire. Oh, like I'm the only one that was thinking it.
Ring of fire.
I fell into the burning ring of fire.
Copyright.
That's all we can say.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Who did that?
Johnny Cash sang that.
No, not that. I was gonna say damn dog.
Okay, so Traston's leading the charge. I vaguely remember someone saying.
Yep.
Yep.
Traston's leading the charge. I'll be right behind him for backup. Have my sword out and ready.
Insert the bronze emblem that you have. You guys start to see the door open. You've got about 10 seconds to make it out, but even moving a little bit slower, you guys manage to get out without really much of a problem. In front of you, you see essentially the wall on the other side, but you do see it the wall to your left kind of curve, leading into sort of like a tunnel. And down that way, you see the torches that Lee was speaking of previously. lined up along the wall. Peeking around there, you see two individuals just kind of standing there with what looked to be a great sword in one, and the other one is wielding a looks to be a long sword and a shield. Doesn't seem to have noticed you just yet.
Attack.
I'm just gonna.
How far away are they?
They are probably
Probably
120 feet.
okay. Get down low and try to sneak closer.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Everything that Traston says makes me want to sing copyright music.
Get low. Get low.
No, I was thinking drop it low.
4.
Okay. So, as you are trying to stealthily make your way in that direction, you go to reach for your spear, but you realize you kind of fat-fingered it and stuck it between these two fingers as you kind of twist it and drop it right on the ground. And as that noise is resonating through the tunnel walls, you see both of the guards snap their heads up and look right in your direction.
As soon as they snap their heads, I want to pick it up and charge.
Same.
All right, everybody
Yep.
roll initiative.
18.
Nat 20.
Natural 20.
Lies
30,
you
20.
tell.
Okay, so we have
Plus 0. 20 even.
20 plus 0.
Traston,
Thank you, sir.
20. Elrid, natural 20, what is your total?
Elred, you're muted.
He knows.
23.
23 for Elrid. Anna, yours was a what total?
18.
Neptune,
20.
20 flat.
20 flat.
Okay. And these are... Okay, so... let us go ahead and... real quick... I'm gonna share my screen and to show an image here. So, give you guys a sense of the layout here. Could each join that window there. We've got Traston as the yellow icon, Anna as the red, Elred as the green, Neptune as the blue. So, first up is Elred.
Okay, roughly how close am I to the first guard? The guard.
You are probably the furthest away at roughly 100-something feet.
Furthest away, I was right behind Traston.
I know, but this is a very tiny cavern in space-wise, like 5 feet apart.
Plus he charged.
Yes, but that was in tandem to Traston dropping his spear, so the movement hasn't quite happened yet.
Let's see. I'm going to use my bonus action to summon my Echo. And I'm going to summon at the max distance, 15 feet in front of me, close towards the guard.
Okay.
And then I'm going to swap places with the Echo
Okay.
and charge forward using my action to get as close as I can.
So your movement is a 40 base, I think?
Mhm.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. Okay, so that puts you probably within striking distance, but you used your action to dash, so.
Mhm. Yep. So that'll be it for my turn. My Echo's going to disappear because it'll be out of my range at that point.
Okay. So, after Elrid takes us to, I believe, one of the guards. So, guard got a 22. And that is the guard right in front of you. So, this is the one with the sword and the shield. He's gonna squeeze his way up to you. He's going to make an attack with his sword. That is 18 to hit.
That will hit, I believe. Let me see. That'll hit.
Alright. That will be 8 points of slashing.
Okay.
Second attack. That's higher. 26 to hit.
Yeah.
And that is 16 points of slashing.
Okay.
And that is its turn. That will take it up to one of the three. We got a guard, we got Traston, we got Neptune. Which one of you guys wants to go first?
Not me.
1, 2, 3, not me.
Guess I'll go first. Alright, so I got 45 feet movement.
Yep.
And how are the shadows?
There is shadows kind of splayed basically across the entire cavern between the torches and the people standing in that direction.
So those are shadows behind the guards, I guess.
Can you go 100 feet?
I can go 45 and then 60.
Yes, but the shadows behind the guards would be 100 feet.
Okay.
So, you're gonna shadow step 45 feet?
No, I can walk 45 feet and then I can shadow step as a bonus action.
Okay. So, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay. And then you're going to use shadow step to try to go behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you can get just to the back
Okay.
left-hand side of him.
Alright, that's fine. Then I strike at him with my dagger.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack. And with advantage because of flanking.
Well, that and shadow step gives me advantage.
Nope.
Seven. That would be a 18 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. Then I will attack again.
Okay.
With advantage since I'm flanking. And a critical hit this time.
That nat 20.
That's a nat 20.
Okay, roll damage, double dice. Double the number on the dice.
So being I had advantage, I have sneak attack.
Yep.
So roll double dice or
Just double the total on the dice.
just
Roll
okay,
normal
just double
dice
the
and
total.
just, yeah, times by 2.
Gotcha. And what's my sneak attack? 2d6 right now.
Right out of this
Yeah, it's
burger.
2d6.
Is that 5?
That would be 4, 8. 35.
35 damage.
Yep.
Okay. So as you take out your dagger,
We're gonna also stunning, unless does he fall?
I believe stunning strike has to be unarmed attack, doesn't it?
Nope. Melee weapon attack.
The weapon attack. Okay. Yeah, no, he seems to be fine. But he definitely made some nicks in his armor. As
So
you see,
he's got to
kinda,
do a. If I'm gonna do the stunning strike, it'll
I
be a
know,
DC
con save.
17. Yep.
yeah, you kind of slash up the left side of his armor a little bit. You can see the gashes where it actually managed to get through and actually cut his skin through it.
hmm
That is definitely a save. That's 20.
Okay. Tried. And that's it.
Okay, Traston or the guard? You want to go first, Traston?
I don't think I'm that dexterous unless he's slow on the draw.
Okay. Other guard's turn. Other guard is going to see Neptune smacking his good old friend there. And this is the one with this very large greatsword. He seems to be very muscular. Doesn't seem to be as protected. Mostly probably because he's killing his people before they even take a swing on him. So that is not gonna hit on the first attack. Second attack. He doesn't seem to be doing that well either. So both attacks narrowly missing Neptune as he just kind of sidesteps to the left and then sidesteps to the right. And that's it for that guard. So, taking us to Traston.
I'm gonna charge the one with the great sword as far as I can get to him, and then hand over hand, two-handed throw the spear. Chain still attached.
Okay. So you get to about right there, which should still be within range of your spear.
And reckless, by the way.
Yep. Go ahead and roll. Advantage.
I'll take the first one. That's 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
That is, hold on, 13 points of piercing damage and 6 points of radiant.
Okay. As you just kind of manage to hit him right in the shoulder blade, as you just see the divine energy kind of explode out of that shoulder piece.
Yanking the
Kinda
chain back
winces.
and just trying to throw him off balance a little bit.
Okay. Go ahead and give him a. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Nope, 5.
Okay. So he kind of senses you pulling it a little bit, and he just kind of grabs it with one hand and yanks you forward as you kind of fall prone from the little exchange there.
Excellent. I'm going to Hmm.
Did
Use
you
my attack to cast Thunder
Did
Smite
you-
on myself?
Thunder Smite? Okay. Did you roll with advantage on that? Or no, you didn't rage yet.
No,
Did you?
I have not raged yet. No.
Okay. Thunder Smite. Go.
So it's on me, and if it's stuck in him, I can't throw it back. And I'm prone, I have no more movement to stand up, so that's my turn.
Okay. And that takes us to Anna. What are you doing?
Okay. How far away am I?
Probably about 100 feet. 100, 105.
Okay. Anna's gonna try to shoot the one that's next to Neptune. Oh, they're both next to Neptune. The one that's on this side.
The one well, technically to Neptune's left.
The one
or...
that's closest. The one that's closest to the key.
in between the green or blue dot, or the one just by the blue dot?
Just by the blue dot.
Okay.
That's the one closest to the key.
No.
Yes, it is. I hate you. Okay.
So yeah, you should be able to hit him from there. Because you took sharpshooter. So go ahead and roll attack.
That's a natural 20, which means it's a 30.
Roll the dice, double the dice.
Yes, sir. Nine, 10, 11. So 22. Oh, plus 4.
Plus 10 from sharpshooter too.
Wait, what?
Was that a sharpshooter shot? I was not.
It was the only way she could hit from that range.
So it was a sharpshooter shot.
Yeah.
10.
Okay, so 22 plus 10's 32 plus 4.
36. I'll do the math later. So, as you take your first shot with this new gun, everything seems to go smoothly. As you just pull that trigger and you just see the 2 shots go right into his chest as he kind of jumps back. And with the sheer force and velocity that these came out, it kind of dislodges Traston's spear out of his shoulder, because there's now a hole from the spot where you shot him right above the breastplate here that reaches to where Traston stabbed him with that spear. As he just kind of steps back a little bit, looks a little bloodied.
Okay. And I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay, go ahead and roll attack.
I'm gonna move as close as I can. I've got 35 feet of movement.
Five. Okay.
Okay. So that's 20 to hit?
Same guy.
Yes.
That will hit.
Okay. And that's 9 points of damage. Wait, can I use sharpshooter twice? Or is that a once per short
I
rest
believe
type?
so. It takes if using that part of it, I think that's the one. Unless it's not, that you can take a -5 to hit, but add 10 to damage. It's like
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
Great Weapon Master of Ranged.
Yep.
So wait, if I -5 to hit, will it still hit?
-5 to hit will not hit.
Okay, that's just 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And for my bonus action, I'm gonna shoot him with a little firebolt.
Okay,
So
go ahead and roll.
that's 22.
That'll hit.
Yes, it will. And that's 18 points of damage with my firebolt. D&DBeyond's dice roller, it has not let me down yet, y'all.
It is nice.
It is really nice.
Okay, so as you unload your shots on this poor unsuspecting individual, not knowing what the hell he's being shot with, and then the unexpected fireball that comes in to finish part of the job, you start to see some of the wounds that you made earlier kind of burn a little bit closed. Still seems to be okay, but looks to be in pain a little bit. So that will take it back up to Elrid.
Alright. Has the guard moved at all?
No, he is still directly in front of you.
Okay. I'm going to summon my echo.
Okay, where are you summoning him?
I'm gonna summon him, so give me the layout of the guards. Is there just... how many is there?
There are 2 guards. One is right in front of you. Neptune is to your right behind the guard, and then the other guard is to the same side just behind Neptune.
Okay. I'm gonna summon my echo to the guard that's furthest from me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna pop action surge, and I'm going to rage with that.
Okay, so rage is a bonus action, and you're going to use action surge to use rage.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Here. And I'm going to take a swing on the guard in front of me. And let's see here. And I'm going to use, well, Neptune's behind him, what you said, so would that be advantage for flanking?
You are in front of him. If you were to...
Oh, that's right. That's right. No, you're right. So I'm gonna use reckless attack.
Mhm.
And great weapon master.
Okay.
And let's see here. Okay, so that would be 19 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay.
Unless he
Second
just
second
kind of
attack.
parries it.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Second attack on the guard near my echo.
Mhm.
Great weapon master. That will be 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. Let's see here. Clear. Alright. And that'll be 24 points of damage. 7 of it being elemental fire.
Okay.
And then
Yep.
And then I'm going to use Unleash Incarnation.
Mhm.
And go for another swing on the guard near my echo.
Okay.
Great weapon master. Reckless. Okay. And again. Another 21 to hit. Or
That'll
22 to
hit.
hit. Yeah. Alright. Screen's so small I have to scroll down. Alright, that'll be 24 points of damage.
Okay.
8 of it being elemental.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, so as this other guard is just extremely confused as to what's going on, as he sees the same guy kind of in 2 places. One just looks a little more see-through than the other. Has never seen this before, as the see-through-ish one is just pummeling him repeatedly, slashing him, and kind of burning him a little bit. He's wondering where all this fire's coming from, as the last person shot him with a fireball, and he's just kind of burning a little bit. Smell a little toasty. And that will take it up to Neptune. What would you like to do?
Well, the one in front of me, I still have flanking, right?
Correct.
So as Elred's distracting him, I take my dagger and try to go for an opening in his armor.
Okay.
Wow, I've never done that before.
Which is?
I rolled 2 14s on advantage,
Yeah, that happens.
which is a 25 to hit.
That will hit.
And then since I had advantage, it's sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
For 12 points of damage.
Yep.
And then I guess I will go for another swing.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a 28 to hit.
That will hit.
And then we're just gonna go ahead and still use my dagger and everything.
Yep.
For 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And how does he kind of look for where?
So after your first attack, kind of aiming for that same spot on his left arm where he's holding his shield, you just hit that same spot and basically cut the tendon in his left arm, causing him to drop his shield, as everything past the elbow seems to be non-responsive. It doesn't seem like he can close his hand at all. But he still
Okay.
looks to be okay, aside from one dumb hand.
I'm still tuned to my gauntlets. Could I?
If you
I
want to
could-
use flurry of blows and hit him with those, yes.
And they would have advantage as well.
Yes.
Why not? I haven't used for Fury of Blows in a while, so we're gonna go one more weapon attack with bonus action Fury of Blows. Trying to put him in submission. Uh, 17 to hit.
Just misses.
Just misses, even without his shield.
Without his shield, yes.
Alright, and go for one more blow, trying to... That would be... 20 to hit,
That will hit.
I believe. Yes, 20 to hit.
Yep.
So we're gonna do 1d6 and then 2d6 lightning. So 7 of it is physical damage and 10 of it is lightning damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try one more time and stun him, since I hit him hard in the head with my thunder gauntlets.
Let me confirm something real quick. But... Okay, yeah. He fails his save. But he will
Yes.
be using a legendary action to
Oh, shit.
re-roll
Okay.
his saving throw,
Oh,
which is a 20.
okay.
So, as you just kind of slash him with your dagger, you kind of turn it the other way and just pummel him with your fist, as he seems to be taken aback a little bit, not expecting you to punch him as you've been stabbing him repeatedly, and almost goes to the ground as he gets back up without really knowing where he's at. Seems to be a little disoriented. So-
Alright. That would be my turn.
All right, that will take it to guard number 2, I believe. How we did the ordering last time. Yes. So. He is going to take a swing at Neptune again. Okay, so that is going to definitely hit. That's a 27.
Okay.
Taking his gigantic greatsword and trying to run you through. That is 21 points of slashing damage for the first attack. Second attack. $18 to hit?
Nope.
Okay. As the first one just kind of catches you right across the chest, almost cutting a deep hole in your flesh as you kind of jump back a little bit, still taking a bit of the damage. His second swing misses almost completely as you kind of read his movements a little bit as he was trying to slash you in half from the side rather than the overhead swing that he did previously. And that will take it to Traston.
Alrighty. I'm going to stand up and move 15 feet towards the guy on the right with the great sword.
Okay.
Yank the chain and try for another attack.
Alright, go ahead and roll an attack.
Reckless.
Yep.
All of these
Yep.
will be
99% of them are reckless, I will assume so, unless you say
Yes.
otherwise.
19 to hit for the first one.
That will hit.
It's going to be 8 points of piercing and 8 points of radiant.
Okay. 16 damage on hit.
And the second one, yeah, I would like to rage.
Okay. Bonus action rage. Second attack.
And go again.
Okay.
Natural 20 on the second one.
Roll your dice, double the
And,
damage.
I'm going to go ahead and dump a second level Divine Smite
Okay.
into that as well. So it's going to be 21 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
14 points of radiant damage. And on top of the Divine Smite, which is, give me a second. $40 even points of radiant on top of that.
Okay, so we have 21 piercing from the initial, plus 14, taking you up to 35, plus 40 for 75 points of damage. As that second angry spear is just embedded into his sternum, you see just this bright eruption of light as it just engulfs almost that entire room, narrowing everybody's eyesight to a bare minimum as this man is seemingly exploded from the inside out. He looks to be kneeling on the ground, just kind of grasping his chest in complete agony as he's still there, just not fully there. Looks like you took out the middle core, and he kind of looks like Iron Man with the bright light still in the middle of his chest. So, It's at the end of your turn.
Yeah, it's action, bonus action, and movement. That's it.
Okay, that will take it to Anna.
Alright. Anna is gonna take another shot at the one that she was shooting at originally. How's he looking?
That's the man that Traston just almost sent to the deep dark place.
Okay, so first one is a 27 to hit.
That will hit.
She's gonna subtract 5 from that to double the damage.
That was
Sharpshooter.
18 on hit on the
Yeah.
die. -5 will not hit.
No, it's 27, so minus 5 is
I
22.
thought you said, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I forgot about some damage
Oh no.
from my divine fury.
We'll go
Oh.
on ahead and do that real quick.
Yeah. It's not much. It's gonna be. This is for the first attack, by the way. This was not.
Yeah.
This will not count for the rage.
Yep.
Yeah, but that may change everything.
Oh, plus 4 more damage from the rage before.
Yep.
But that is 7 points of radiant damage on top of it for the first attack. So
Okay,
7,
so-
9, 10, 11 total added on.
As Traston threw his spear, the man thought he was still standing.
Sorry.
As the little
New barbarian.
radiant
You're fine, we're
light
just
in the center of
switching
his
my damage
chest
over to the other one.
seemed to have animated him for a moment in time as he stood up and then immediately fell back down as he was just obliterated by exactly lethal from Traston.
Alright, so Anna's attack is gonna go to the other one, since Traston's would have been dead if we had remembered that part.
Perfectly fine, as there is
So
one remaining.
that's 25 points of damage from sharpshooter.
Okay.
And she's gonna take another whack at him. That's glorious. That's another natural 20. D&D's dice roller. Oh, I love it. Okay, so that's she's gonna subtract 5 again. It's a natural 20, so I'm assuming that will be fine.
Yeah, in future you'll have to
Okay.
specify before you roll.
Oh, well, that's stupid. I don't know if it's gonna work before I do it.
That's the downside to it. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 20 points of damage. So, hold on. Doubled.
So 20 doubled is 40.
Yeah.
And I have to look up the specific thing on the reload factor because I believe you'll have to reload here soon.
I think it's I think it's like an attack to reload if she has
It
an
is.
attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to remember on this specific weapon how
Well,
many
that's fine.
times she
You look
has
that
before
up
she
in a
reloads.
second.
So,
And then bonus action.
yep. Bonus action.
So that's 19 to hit.
Just hits.
Yeah.
I'm assuming fireball.
Yes, or firebolt. I don't have firebolt.
Bolt. Yeah.
So that's 9 points of damage from my firebolt.
Okay. As this man is just pumped full of lead with this rifle that Anna is just newly acquired from her
I'm gonna barbecue
Thieves
his
Guild
ass.
buddies, as she just unloads 2 shots in rapid succession as they just pierce him through the chest area, as you see tiny little divots right in each one of the shoulder blades. Elred narrowly escaping the gunshots.
Shrapnel.
So, is that the end of your turn? Action, bonus action, are you moving?
No, she's cool where she's at right now.
Okay. That will take it to Elred.
Elred, who's picking his nose.
I was wiping my nose, thank you very much.
He's a nose picker.
So the one's dead. Was it the one closest to me that died?
No. It was the one behind Neptune.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go for a reckless attack on the one in front of me. Let's see.
You're so reckless.
So reckless. 27 to hit.
That will hit.
Why are you so reckless?
And this is going to be 25 points of damage. 7 of it is elemental.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go for Unleash Incarnation to go for a second hit.
Okay.
Reckless, this one will be Great Weapon Master.
Your Echo is over by the other one. Are you moving him over to...
Yeah, I'll move him over.
Okay. Go ahead and roll them dice.
Okay, so that one and 20. No, it's non-natural 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. I just remember I didn't add the Great Weapon Master damage last time I did this. Oops.
So that dude was dead
The-
like 10 minutes ago.
Hey, it's fine. So, 20, it's 33 points of damage.
Okay.
4 of it being elemental.
Had to make sure
That'll
my
be
math
the end
was
of my
right.
turn.
Okay, as you just continue to slice and dice this guy without a shield, he seems to be a much easier target to hit. Out of just natural reaction, he tries to pick up his hand. He uses the shield, and you manage to actually lop off the hand right at the wrist. And he's kind of bleeding profusely as the blood is just kind of squirting all over the ground there. So, Neptune.
I
Actually,
don't know why, but I
not
imagine
Neptune.
that.
The other guard.
I imagine with Joe having the fire ruby in the pommel that it just cauterizes it immediately.
A little bit. It's not squirting as much as you would think it would, but there is definitely blood. Wasn't a super high heat, but you can tell he's in a little bit of ouchies. So he is going to try to attack Elrid with his last good hand. That is a 22 hit.
That'll do it.
$16 points of slashing.
That'll be half because I'm raging.
So 8. And his second attack. Not gonna hit. As he tries to take his other swing, limp-wristed almost, as he kind of gets a sharp shooting pain from his ghost hand. His phantom limb, if you would, as it just narrowly misses you and the sword kind of goes right into the ground. Now, it is Neptune.
Okay. As Elrid is destroying him, I guess, with his sword and burning him, try to sneak in an attack. I get advantage because he's flanking him still.
Yes.
That would be a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Advantage, so I get sneak.
Yep.
And that would... Man, math is hard.
Math is real hard.
18 points of damage.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
I imagine that as he's stabbing him, I kind of push him more forward towards Elrid so he stabs his sword into him, and then I just finish him off with a stab into the neck, assassin style.
As Elrid unexpectedly just kind of pulls his sword up to his chest line as Neptune kicks the man right in the back as the guy falls forward, impaling himself on Elrid's sword. But as he's laying on Elrid's sword, it's just cauterizing the wound as he's slowly bleeding, but yet healing at the same time, just from stopping the blood loss due to the heat. Neptune reaches up, pulls his head back in basic assassin style, takes his dagger and just right along the neckline. And the dude just slowly bleeds out as you see the blood running down his armor and falls limp.
Well, that was interesting.
So, combat is over. What do you guys want to do?
No, look and see if anybody's noticed us yet.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna see if there's anything useful in the guards.
Okay.
Any information, equipment.
Investigation check.
Anna's gonna reload her gun.
19.
Okay. 19.
That's an 11.
11. Is Traston doing anything?
Just pulling the spear back and trying to maintain rage, but then just chilling. as it
Pulling the
drops.
corpse along and just kind of like fishing, just with dead people.
Just pacing and then
Okay. Elrid kind of looking around, rummaging through the bodies. You find what looks to be a key, probably for the gate that's looks to be about 50 feet off into the distance behind where the guards were standing. Neptune looking around, it doesn't seem like there's really anybody else down here. It seemed to just be these two guards, and they seem to be sufficient enough in the past to handle the intruders that came up this path previously. So, Anna reloading her gun as everybody seems to be pretty lifeless, who seem to be aggressive.
Yeah, after Anna gets done reloading her gun, she kind of wants to take a look at the corpses. See if there's anything of value on there. Kind of look them over pretty good.
Okay, just give me an investigation.
I'm not good at that one. Ooh, that's an 18, so 20.
Okay. Looking around on the bodies of the guards, you see a familiar symbol on the plate of the one. It looks to have a bullet hole through it, as you kind of shot through it earlier. But it definitely has the top and bottom still kind of intact, where you can see that there's the single V and then the I to the left of that V, signifying that this is the symbol of the fourth. And both of them have this same symbol kind of right above the left breast.
Okay. Does she find anything interesting?
Nothing really much of worth. You see Elrid kind of pulled a key off the body, but they don't seem to have any money or anything that's useful.
Alright, where do you guys want to go now?
I found a key, and there appears to be a gate just right over there. Maybe we can use it to get through that gate.
It's worth a shot.
Okay, so I assume you guys are just...
So
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take the bodies
Mhm.
and hide them on the other side of the door.
What do you mean the other side of the door? You mean where you guys came in, where you have to use the emblem to kind of shove them in?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you... Is anybody helping him with this, or is he just kind of...
I'm gonna help him.
So, you guys start to drag the bodies back to where you came. Looks to be a blood trail kind of following you guys as well as you're dragging these people. You managed to get them all the way over to the passageway there. And using the emblem, doorway opens up. You got about 10 seconds to throw them in. Go ahead and give me a... just strength checks for both of you.
$18.
Anna, strength check.
13.
Okay. So, Neptune, moving as quickly as you can, picking this man up and just tossing him to the other side. He seems to have made it a good bit of distance. Lee narrowly dodging the flying body as he's still standing on the other side of the wall to see how things went. But as you guys are tossing corpses down his little path, he's well aware of what happened. Anna, as you try to toss yours over, him being the bigger man of the two, you throw him and he kind of tumbles a little bit, kind of like he does a cartwheel, but without actually using his hands to stop and brace himself. His head is stuck underneath where the doorway is as the doorway is coming down, and similar to Gallagher, you see this door just come down and as this already dead man has had his corpse crushed by this giant stone door at a great velocity as blood and brain matter just kind of spatter all along the walls.
Is blood.
His blood.
What's a smell?
His blood. Okay. Corpses disposed of, blood path revealed, explosion of head. The only other path you guys see in the immediate vicinity is the gate that Elred had pointed out earlier. So.
Well, I'm gonna somewhat clean up the blood.
Okay. How long are you spending on that?
Well, it depends on how much is blood similar to water.
I mean, are you talking about, like, how thick it is? Because, there's...
Well, shape water is what I was gonna ask.
I mean, there is water in blood, technically, so I feel like...
Yes, but blood is only a certain percentage of water, so there's only a certain percentage...
Are you really gonna look up the percentage of water in blood?
It's like 95%.
I just looked over and there's Google. Like... He's so extra.
Blood.
Dog, stop it.
90% water, and that's just the plasma. So... we'll say you could move about a good portion of it where it'll just be slightly off tinted, which is going to be pretty difficult to tell in the darkness because it kind of looks all the same.
For fun, this is what I was gonna do since I'm a water ganassi. You just see me like gather all the blood towards me, put it in one big pile, and I destroy it with create and destroy water.
So you're making another blood explosion.
Yes, but it's
Okay,
going
Katara.
to disappear.
Way to bloodbend.
Basically, is what I understand how destroy water works.
Yes, but you can only pick up about 90% of each individual blood cell, so it's... So there's
still gonna be some left.
There's a slight discoloration of the rocks around you where the blood is, but you are able to disperse of the puddles that are the blood, so it's not like a liquid. It makes it look a little more aged rather than recent.
Okay, so I can just leave it there. Or
If
do you
you
still want me
use-
to use destroy?
If you use destroy water, that's what would happen.
Okay. Just so that way it doesn't look like I made a trail all the way to the door.
Right. Yeah, you spend about 5 minutes kind of shaping the water, kind of forcing it like you would if you were Aquaman, just kind of, and then you make a little explosion where the liquid portions of the blood kind of dry up, but the iron and slight discoloration of the ground is
You see a bloody
Still.
fog.
I'd have to look up the formalities, but sure, for this instance, you see a little blood mist kind of floating around, adding a little bit of ambiance to your murder spot.
I guess it wouldn't be too bad if it was to say it explodes and then the whole area is covered in blood from the ceiling to the floor.
Well, that wouldn't be destroying it, that would just be replacing it violently.
I know. Alright, we're done with the bodies.
Okay. So, I assume, because you guys can only see the gate, is that where you guys are heading, or are you going to go back the way you came?
They're gonna replace the guards sometime, right?
You don't know. No. Gate or back way came, people.
Are we off to see the wizard?
I
say
think
we-
we are.
The
I say
wizard's
the
not
gate.
I
here.
think we are.
Okay. One for gate. Like Traston may have received a message.
Yes.
25 words or less, Traston.
What message did I receive?
The phone call.
Yes.
So, as you guys make your way towards the gate, on the other side of the gate, you guys see a marbled staircase, kind of one of those large spiral staircases leading directly up. Looks to be probably 120 feet directly up. And it seems to be pretty dark on the way up. Doesn't seem to have much lighting. Torch every 25, 50 feet or so, just by estimation. But the gate is indeed locked.
Pull out the key, try to unlock it.
Pull out the key, stick it in the keyhole, turn it left, turn it right, see which way the chambers actually decide to turn, and you hear the click as the gate just kind of swings open.
Alright. Go through.
Okay.
What do I see?
See a giant staircase.
Perfect. Start heading up that way. Although very cautiously.
Okay.
Just keeping out for any signs of other guards.
Trying to be quiet or just normal face?
Trying to be a little quiet.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. And anybody else who's trying to be quiet, do the same.
That's an 11.
And Neptune?
That's a 9.
11,
We tried
9.
so hard.
And in the end, it didn't even matter.
I was gonna say we can't seem to get away from misery.
Okay, we will assume Neptune stepped away for a moment.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
As you guys make your ascent up this staircase.
21.
And Traston, go ahead and give me a stealth check if you're trying to be sneaky. Up the staircase.
Oh, he's back. I saw him get up.
His food arrived.
Yes, I'm here.
Ooh, what'd you get?
Some Five Guys, and I got a natural 20 in the stealth check.
Okay.
Dude, I almost got 5 guys.
Traston seemingly disappearing out of existence as he's trying to prove a point by showing he got his natural 20. And Neptune also moving pretty quietly, used to this kind of environment of subterfuge and whatnot. Making your way up the staircase. As you guys continue up this staircase, probably for about 10-15 minutes as it just continues to spiral up. You guys make your way up into what looks like the enclosure area where this is kind of hid away in the back, as you see what looks to be a flat wooden surface kind of in front of you, as well as the marbled stone walls on either side of you. Essentially, you're in a 20 by 20 foot room. Doesn't look to be much of anything in there, but you do see the one wooden side. It's probably about 5 feet in width, just kind of in the center, right in front of the staircase. Probably about 10 feet from the staircase entrance.
What do you guys think now?
Seems sketchy.
Is Neptune back?
I think he can hear us. I believe he had a child to attend to real quick.
Yes, the babies needed him.
I was gonna have him scout ahead to see if he found anything.
I was gonna say
Why don't you just send your echo.
there's
Doesn't go
nothing
that
to
far?
scout.
No.
There's just a wooden, looks like panel directly in front of you guys, and then the other half of the other parts of the room are all that marbled wall material that you saw similar to the Thieves Guild itself.
Okay. This panel look like it opens?
Go ahead and just give me an intelligence check.
$17.
Okay, so you didn't see many of them where you lived, but this looks like the back paneling of a bookcase.
So I could assume that it's a secret entrance of some sorts.
You can make that assumption.
Try to find a way to open it.
Okay, give me a general investigation check.
Eight.
Looking around, the room seems to be pretty smooth. There's not really anything out of the ordinary that sticks out to you as being a lever or switch.
Anyone else see anything that could open this panel up? It looks to be the back of a bookcase, a secret entrance of some sorts.
Give me just a moment. Neptune is able to see something that looks a little out of the ordinary. There's a piece of marbling that looks a little off. It doesn't seem to fit with the rest of the pattern on one of the walls. And just kind of placing his hand on it and kind of pushing it in a little bit, you kind of hear a click and then start to see the bookshelf slide to the right.
As it's sliding, I try to put my head out a little bit just to see if I see anybody right outside.
Okay. Quick glance around. You don't see anybody in the room. It does seem to be some sort of like library or office area where you see a lot of books kind of lined along the walls with the probably about 30 or so bookshelves. The room seems to be probably 100 foot wide, 50 foot, well, 100 foot long, 50 foot wide, facing you guys. You see a couple desks. You see basically a little globe that kind of sits on a... I don't even remember the name of it. It spins. It spins.
Lazy Jane.
That's what it is. But nobody really in the area as sentient beings.
Okay, I'm gonna look around the area to see if I can find any information, any documents, anything that gives more information about the area.
Are you looking for anything specific?
The layout of the building.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation.
$22.
Okay. So just kind of rummaging through the room, ransacking a little bit similar to your time in the in Varendor, being as poor as you were. You're used to this kind of rummaging, finding the important details. You find one of the drawers in the desk, and you find basically a layout of... They're like the blueprints when this place was first built. A crude drawing of what is where. It's dated about 60 years back. Is pretty recent given the time frame. It seems to be a newer building, but still old enough that things could have been expanded upon.
Okay, I'm just gonna show it to the rest of the group.
Okay. Anyone have anything to say?
Do you know what this is?
Seems to be a layout of the structure of the building. It seems fairly recent. Old.
Well, I mean... it's pretty recent. Anna's gonna try to examine the map and see if she can find a way out of here. Maybe someplace where there might be more people hiding, like more guards.
Just give me a general intelligence check.
Okay. Why did it have to be intelligence? Oh, that's a 16. That's not... I'll take that.
So kind of looking over the map, you're able to make out a couple of the details. Basically the general layout of the area, where you see kind of like the living area on one side, the library, and the other luxuries of this building kind of splayed out everywhere. You see basically what looks like the throne room, so to speak. It's not really a throne, but it seems to be the place where that was built specifically for the leader of the city to go in and relax. Seems to be on the northernmost side. You guys are kind of on the southeastern side of things. You see a couple corridors, kind of in a, a square. So in the middle, you see kind of like the kitchenette area, the dining area, with the square hallways kind of surrounding those, with entrances on both sides. The east side, you see the guest areas, and the west side seems to be kind of like the servants' quarters.
Do you guys want to split up and look at different areas?
We can do that, but if we see any signs of trouble, we want to make sure we regroup quickly. Do we have any way to do that? Or we can let the other groups know?
The only one that can send messages is... what's his name? Leo. I mean, I guess the only way that we're going to be able to do this is to just go through one room at a time and investigate.
So, how dark is this room?
Seems to be pretty well lit. See quite a few torches kind of lined around each side of the room.
And there's just one door?
Yes. Well, aside from the one that you guys found hidden behind the bookcase that you came out of.
Okay. So, I minor illusion to an image in front of everybody that's congregated and have it point towards me, and I give you guys they keep it down because I hear footsteps on the other side of this door.
What's the minor illusion for?
To get their attention without talking.
So you all
I imagine
you all see Neptune kind of summon these little images that keep pointing at the door, where Neptune's kind of standing with his ear placed up against it.
do I hear like they're walking away or right up against the door? Or
some time passes, you kind of hear a few more footsteps come and go. Seems to be a couple here and there. It's hard to tell exactly where they're going. Some of them seem to stop in front of the door there, but they seem to happen every 10 or 15 minutes or so, where you hear those footsteps coming back and forth.
okay, so hoping I walk up back to the group, so I just wanted to let everybody know that there's guards walking around rounds. Sorry.
Can you tell how close they are?
Not necessarily, no. It sounds like every so often they stop in front of the door and then they continue on.
Well, you guys want to go kill some guards?
No time like the present.
With pleasure.
All right. Anna's gonna head for the door, start walking out.
Okay. Just a second here. Actually, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back here momentarily. And we are back. The music that you're hearing is brought to you by Tabletop Audio, and last we left off, the group was listening to the doorway in the middle of this mansion, trying to figure out what their next move is. So, what do you guys want to do?
So I think we decided that we were gonna try to wait until we heard the guards walking around and get close, and then we were gonna run up on them. Shank, shank.
Yep.
Okay. So, is Neptune still listening at the door, or is somebody else doing this?
I thought Anna already went through the door, but
Not yet. Nobody's gone
Okay.
through the door just yet.
okay. guess we're just waiting for the timing until somebody stops in front of the door. Does the door open inward or go outward?
It opens towards you guys.
Okay. And is it torchlight that I can see underneath the door, or is it dark in here? How?
Out
How's
in
lighting?
underneath the doorway, it seems to be pretty well lit. You can see a good bit of everything. Or at least not. You can't see the details, but you can see that there is definitely light coming in.
Okay.
Rather than the room you're in. So. Still listening at the door. About 5 minutes pass and you hear the kind of the clanging of the armor and the footsteps heading your direction as they just kind of stop.
Alright, as soon as Anna hears them, she's gonna motion to everybody else like it's time, and then she's gonna try to head out the door.
So, Anna leading the charge. Moving out. Go ahead and put the map back up on the stream. Having some technical difficulties here. For some reason wouldn't let me save that. So, Anna opening the door. As she opens the door, the two guards that are standing right near the doorway there turn around and notice you. So everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
$18.
21.
$18.
Neptune.
19.
Gotta get the rest of here. Oop. Forgot that was the hotkey for that. Makes a little bit difficult, but it's fine. Okay, so it looks like first up is Anna. What are you gonna do?
Okay, so which one is closest to me?
The one that's about 10 feet away.
Okay, so Anna's gonna... He's 10 feet away?
Yeah, give or take.
So if I try to shoot him with my gun, is that disadvantage because he's close? Or...
I believe you have...
I'm new to this gunslinging life, y'all.
No, you should be fine to roll it normal.
Alright. That's a 23 to hit.
23 to hit will hit.
Okay. And that's 12 points of damage for the first shot.
Okay.
Second shot is a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
That. And that is 17 to hit.
Where you get a third attack is fireball. Bolt.
Yeah. Firebolt. Ooh, that's an 8. So, my firebolt, I'm assuming, fizzled out.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, next up is the guard you were shooting at. He is going to mosey down here. And he's going to try to give you the good old stabbings with his spear. And 17 to hit?
Nope.
Okay, second attack. Not gonna hit.
I deflected it.
Okay, that will take it up to Neptune.
So there's no real darkness in the area behind him, right? Just
No,
bunch of
it seems to
torches
be
with light.
pretty well lit.
Okay, so I'm going to use my insightful fighting ability on the one furthest away.
Okay.
Deception check versus him.
Okay.
My check is a 29.
Yep.
So for 1 minute, I get sneak attack on him.
Yep.
I'm going to take my dagger whisper. I'm going to throw it at him. I believe when I throw it, I disappear into the...
You can, yes.
Okay. So I'm rolling a ranged attack with whisper. That is a 28 to hit.
It'll hit.
And then I would... When I come out of the dagger, I end up behind him.
No.
But I believe... I thought it's a... Is
Where
it right
you
in front
hit.
Okay, so where
So,
would I
since
hit?
he's facing you, it would be
Okay.
basically directly
I
in
didn't
front
know
of
how the... I didn't know how the wording was on it. I thought it
Yeah.
said something about a space next to him.
him. It's on impact.
Okay. So as I reappear, I would then.
What was the
so
damage
I
on
get
the...
get rolled with sneak attack and everything? It's
Every
Man,
time.
math is hard. 14. 20.
Okay. And next attack.
Next attack. $20.
Natural.
No.
Okay. That'll hit.
$11 points of damage.
Okay.
And I used my bonus action already, so
What'd you use your bonus action for?
insightful fighting.
That's right. Yep. Okay, so that will take it up to Traston Elrid.
You want him, or you want me to take him?
Which one of you
Yeah.
going first?
Who? Is it between?
You?
Is it between him and I? Okay,
Yes.
I only heard Traston. My bad. You can go first, Traston.
Alrighty. I squeeze past through Neptune up to the guard and just two-hand stab him up to this shoulder. Armpit.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're stepping to the side of him.
Yes, reckless.
Alrighty. So, go ahead and roll an attack.
23 for the first one.
That'll hit.
23 for the second. I'll take the 23. Just gonna be 8 points, 8 points of piercing damage, and come on, give me, thank you, and 6 points of necrotic.
Okay, as you put your spear into him, you can just kind of see him kind of kneel to the ground. He's looking pretty rough. You're
Second one's
surprised he's
21.
still standing. Yep.
That's gonna be 15 points of piercing and 8 necrotic.
How do you want to do that?
So after the stab up through into his side, I want to twist so that he spins and then just right through the neck.
Okay, as you stab him right in the side, he kind of leans down for the final time as you take your spear back out and just skewer him right through the jugular and through the other side of his neck and rip your spear back out. As he falls to the ground, you see on the other side of him 2 more guards that just witnessed this brutal massacre as they look to start making their way over towards you. So, bonus action.
Bonus action, I would. I'm gonna go ahead and cast. I'm gonna cast Bless. And I'm
Okay.
gonna bless. Just the 3 around me. Yeah, I'll just bless everybody.
You get a blessing. You get a blessing. You get a blessing.
Alright, so everybody remember to roll a d4 on your attack rolls as well.
D4 on attacks and saves.
Is there a way to put that in D&D Beyond so that way it adds it?
Nope.
Not under
Not
like
cur-
afflictions or anything?
No.
Not currently, I don't
And
believe.
I'll just, what I would do, because that's how I do it, is I just keep the the manual roller up on the side, and then I'd make my do my roll, and then I just roll a d4 on top of it. That way, it's always up while I'm doing whatever else.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And you said it's attack rolls and saves?
Attack rolls
Yes.
and save throws.
Okay, that will take it up to Elrid.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak around them here, try to get around both Anna and Traston, try to make my way over to the other guard at the farther end.
Okay.
I'll stop right there behind Anna, and I'll summon my Echo on the other side and have him move up to the guard.
Okay. Echo. And the guard that's directly in front of Anna, correct? Or the one that's near Neptune?
Let's do the one that's near Neptune.
Okay.
And I'm going to reckless attack and Great Weapon Master.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay, even without the D4, it's 24.
That'll hit.
Okay. Let's see. And okay, so 24 points of damage. 3 of it being elemental. And then
How do you want to
second
do
attack. Oh. Just with my echo sword suddenly becoming flaming because I'm using my attack through him. Just see the sword come down, slice straight down the side of him, cauterizing the wound as it goes down, but just leaving a huge gash in the front of him, and he falls down.
Yes. As you slice through him, almost like butter, as you can just see the flesh searing and closing up as soon as you cut him, as more flames seem to have been expunged from this weapon. Expelled, not expunged. As he just kind of falls flat on his back.
Perfect. My echo move back to the guard in front of Anna, and go for a second attack.
Okay.
And same thing, reckless great weapon master. Okay, where's the D4? Okay, so 23 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
That's perfect. And okay, 31 points of damage, 5 elemental.
Okay, as you use your echo to slice through this guard as well, you see similar thing, just in his back this time, as you take your blade and just almost completely cut him in half.
Perfect. And I have to leave. So
Yep. Perfectly A-okay.
feel free to run my character.
Will do.
Will you be
Alright.
back? Or is that still unknown?
I mean,
It
by the time he gets home.
Yeah. By the time I get home, interact with the parents, just depends. Probably not, considering it'll probably be over by that time.
Alright.
Alright, bye guys.
Have fun, man, Ulrid.
Bye bye.
Now let's see how the layout gets screwed this time.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's gonna do both because he had his video.
Okay, so let's get that figured out momentarily. So, basically, after the end of Elred's turn, the rest of the guards are going to hear everything that's happening and use their action to dash as close as they can to you guys as I work on rearranging this a bit. So, with that, that'll take it up to Anna.
All right. So I'm gonna step up a little bit so that way I can get a clear shot at the one that's closest to me.
Okay,
And
go ahead and roll
then-
your attack.
Okay. So that's a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. And that's 12 points of damage for the first hit.
Okay.
And then 23 for the second one, so that'll hit. And that's 16 points of damage for the second attack. I should have 1 bullet left, so I'm actually going to use my bonus action to reload.
Okay.
And then that will end my turn.
Alrighty. So that will take it up to Traston. Go ahead and what are you doing?
Charging the fella on the left. And stab.
Charge and stab. Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
I'd like to rage as well.
Of course.
And reckless, that is 25 to hit.
25 to hit will hit.
And that's going to be 13 points of piercing damage, 8 points of necrotic.
Alrighty.
Attack. Natural 20.
Okie dokie then.
That's 21 points of piercing. And I'm going to try to lump... oh, actually, no, it's necrotic now, so I don't have to worry about that. 21 points of piercing, 10 points of necrotic. And I'm going to go ahead and dump second level Divine Smite as well.
Okay.
That's going to be 52 points of radiant.
How do you want to do this?
Just run up, stab him in the chest, and try to break his sternum to push him to the ground. And as I'm running, just full on stab him in the head.
Okay. As you
Smokes.
see Traston just sprint and shove his spears deep into this man's chest as he can, hearing the sternum snap in half as the man kind of screams in pain and starts coughing up blood, and then you see the very, very bright light once again as he just dumps every bit of divine energy he has into this poor individual as he explodes into light, essentially cremating him with a bright light.
That's action, bonus action, movement. That's it.
Okay, and I skipped Neptune. So, Neptune, go ahead.
So the one in front of Traston is no more?
He is indeed dead.
Alright, I'll use, or move my... Can I get up there? 45 feet? 45
can-
feet.
You can get there.
Alright, I'll just get up to him. Use my insightful fight.
Okay. I'm pretty sure your mod's
20.
more than +6.
It's plus 13.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's 24 total, just in case. I'll attack him with Whisper.
Okay.
I get my sneak attack, just so it remembers to hit. 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. $16 points of damage.
Okay.
My next attack, that'd That'd be a 29 to hit.
That'll hit.
And just 6 for 9 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
I feel like, is he wearing like plate mail or anything like that, or is it just?
Seems to be pretty basic leathers.
I feel like watching his fighting style, go for like the lower leg, knock him off his knee, and then slash him down on the second attack, putting him to the ground, trying to silence them without making too much noise.
Okay. As he attempts to counter you, as he sees you coming in, you hit the ground with your hands and you do a little spin kick at his legs as he falls flat on his back, and you hop on top of him and just jam your dagger straight into his Adam's apple area as he tries to speak, but no sounds come out, as you just see the blood kind of pull up in the back of his mouth and just falls over dead.
Next.
Next is Elrid. Elrid's gonna basically take his bonus action to dash as far as he can out of the room, and then resummon his echo. The two that are left. Oop, not that. Hit the wrong button there. As he is still just out of reach. So that will take it to the next two guards as they 5 as they both manage to get within striking distance of Elrid. They will both make an attack. And one of those do hit. As Elrid takes 15 points of slashing damage. And that will be the end of their turn. So that'll take it back up to Anna.
Okay, so Anna is gonna move so that she can see the one that's closest to the wall.
One close to...
Traston's kind of in the wall. Yeah.
Okay. So you're just moving basically straight up.
Yeah, I want to move to where I have a clean shot at both of them without possibly hitting one of the dinguses.
I could take it.
Okay, let me go on ahead and shoot you real quick.
I look at Traston, but I can't.
So, using 25 feet of your movement, you're able to make it basically to the corner of this other room here, and you have a pretty clean shot of the two.
Alright. Let's do this.
Leroy.
That's a 14.
That does not hit.
Yeah, nope, that sure don't. So the first one did not hit, the second one was a 23.
That one does hit. Which one are you shooting at?
The one that I'm closest to.
I mean, they're the same distance away.
No, one is clearly closer to me.
That's just because it's harder to outline it. But...
Well, the one that Traston, or the green dot's not standing in front of.
Okay. Roll your damage.
It's 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And then bonus action, we're gonna hit him with the 5 bolt. Maybe. 19.
The hit? Yes.
And that's 9 points of damage.
Okay. And that will take it to Neptune.
Alright, and Elred's right there, so I could get... There's a threat. I'll move up to the one in front of me.
Okay. Which side are you moving to? Just directly in front?
Well, I could go
Or-
around him. I can go off to the side and I could be technically flanking, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
So flanking. 15.
15 just hits.
Sneak attack. Got 14 on dice and plus 7. 21.
21 points of damage.
Still alive. I do another attack.
Yep.
This one's a little bit nicer with a 29.
Will hit.
And we're going to do 9 damage this time around.
Okay. Still seems to be
And-
standing, looking a little rough though.
Bonus action.
Okay.
Unarmed strike with my gauntlets. Charged with lightning.
Using the key point.
Don't have to with martial arts. I just have to use a bonus action to do 1 additional attack.
Okay.
And that's with advantage. That will be a 28.
That'll hit.
And then be 5 lightning. And 8 physical.
Okay. How do you want to do this?
So I guess after my 2 slashes, I don't get in there because he kind of dodges my attacks, and I take, as I do a twirl, I hit him with the back hilt of it with my gauntlets, and I just basically electrify him with one more blow.
As you take your swings at him, he starts to get a little bit of a read on your movement. You're just barely nicking his body, but the last thing he expected was you to kind of give him the good old backhand with the strong pimp hand as you just reel back as hard as you can, dagger still in hand, hit him right in the face, breaking his eye socket as he kind of falls over limp. Okay, and that is the end of your turn.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be Traston.
I'm gonna
One
head up.
enemy remains.
Yep, I'm gonna head up to him.
Okay.
I should be able to make her, yeah?
20, 25. Yep.
And just pivot. How's he look
Pivot.
to me?
So you're going to try to shank him with a spear.
Yeah, how's he looking, by the way?
This one looks fine. This one hasn't been touched yet.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and actually cast Thunderous Smite on myself with a bonus action.
Okay.
Because I forgot to actually roll damage for that last time, and
You sure
I'm gonna
did.
go ahead and reckless attack
I was
spear
gonna say, you have flanking, so you don't need to reckless if you don't want to.
Traston's recklessly.
That's fine.
That's a 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
So there's that. That is 11 points of piercing damage. 2 of that, and that, and that. So that's 2 points of thunder damage and 4 points of necrotic damage.
Total of 17 points of damage.
Second
Okay.
attack. That's a 13 and a natural 1, so 13 to hit.
Does not hit.
Excellent. Excellent. That's it. That's my movement action. But actually, I'm gonna pivot one like around him and go on the opposite side of Elrid.
So you're gonna move basically in between the two and make your way to.
Other side.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna update
Right.
here in a second. You can tell me if further right. You want to go all the way over? You want to go directly
Up one, right one.
up one, right?
Your other right.
This way. This way.
Yes. There. That square. Yeah.
That square. Okay. Opposing side of Elrid. Got it. Okay, so Traston behind him now. That will take it to Elrid. He's going to move his Echo in. Make his weapon attack. Great Weapon Master. That is -5 plus 18 to hit. That will hit. Ease and 2 of those. +4, 18 points of damage. Math. Second attack, reckless as well. That'll hit. And that is 12. Okay. So as you guys see, Elrid and his Echo kind of move in, and both of them standing on opposing sides and just kind of skewer this individual from both his upper chest region and his lower back, as you see 2 great swords sticking out of both sides of him as one goes up, one goes down, essentially cutting this person in half as he falls to the ground, completely lifeless. So, everybody dead.
Alright, I want to start investigating the bodies.
Same.
Okay. Both of you go ahead and just give me a general investigation check.
16.
Natural 20. So 20.
I'm gonna
Max.
scout out the area and everything.
Those dice are loaded.
Okay. How are you where are you investigating, and are you trying to be sneaky or what?
I'm
Yeah,
rage
like,
and
kind
rage
of-
booting over by the door where we came in at.
Yes.
checking the area and everything, making sure nobody's, like, if there's more people coming, to warn the party.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check while you're kind of looking around. As for the
Stealth check is
investigations,
a 25.
people investigating, you just see, Anna, you see Traston over in the corner, essentially really doing some investigation. He is taking the arms off and looking inside the bone marrow to try to figure out if there's anything of use here, angrily pulling these bodies apart,
Done
as he
clipping the ear off of each.
ripping the ears off, taking them and putting them in his bag, which you have yet to figure out exactly what he's using these ears for, but he has a pretty large quantity of ears at this point, as he sees quite a few symbols of the fourth just embroidered into each one of the armors that the guards are wearing, even though they've been essentially cut into pieces. Looking around at each of the bodies, Just a second. Gotta roll some dice here. Anna, you find 76 gold pieces. Traston, you find 35, as well as additional notes on basically an itinerary of what the guards were supposed to be looking at during their time while they were on shift. They're basically rotating from the top left. You guys are in the basically southeastern corner. Map that you're looking at where you guys were just in combat is rotated. So north is to the right, west is up, south, or east is down, and south is to your. They started in the bottom left corner, which is where the guest quarters, so to speak, is. And it basically says they have to check each one of the doors, check and see if there's anybody staying in there. If there is somebody staying in there, basically keep an eye on them. The room that you guys were in, they were told not to enter, not to touch the door, as people may be doing some work in there. Doesn't specifically say what. They kind of kept them in the dark. And then the royal room, so to speak, to the north, to the right on the map. They're supposed to be stationed up there. So the last two guards that you guys killed were the ones that were kind of keeping watch over that area. They ran down to provide assistance to the other four that were brutally massacred before they had a chance to get there. They're also instructed not to ever enter into the royal chamber, as Cidolfus is primarily in that room doing whatever it is that he does. They're instructed not to ask questions. So,
Do you tell everybody?
Yes. I just, after I'm done reading it, I just hand it to Anna and go sit down in one of the corners of that room.
okay.
Because with this information, it means that we can
Now,
stay in this one room for the time being and recuperate and plan our attack.
that's what I was thinking as well. I think we should.
Okay.
I think we should go in the room and kind of discuss our attack and kind of try to take a short rest if possible.
I go up to all the doors and listen in. Do I hear any? Like, is there any sound coming from inside?
Which doors?
On the other side of the, like where Anna is, where that little line.
So as you kind of go in and try to listen, go ahead and give me a perception check.
I'm also checking to see if there's like candlelight coming from underneath the door. 19.
So, listening in, you kind of hear a few footsteps, and what sounds like dishes being picked up and piled on top of one another. It doesn't sound like anybody of any importance, like you don't hear any like armor kind of scraping. It seems to be probably some wait staff that's kind of bussing the table. More than likely this is the dining room, just by sheer amount of dishes that are being picked up and stacked on one another. And then you see a little bit of light being shed out of that room. Doesn't seem to be much in comparison to the room that you're currently in, which is pretty well lit.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be a little darker in there. Probably more for the ambiance. Just a few candelabras lit on the table. But other than that, you don't really hear, see any.
Okay.
Cleanup crew.
Anything else you guys want to do while you're out there?
Clean up the blood and bodies.
How are you cleaning up?
Shape water. Bring it with me.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything? Albert's probably gonna just try to go hunker down in the room that you guys came out of to...
Elred, I need help with these bodies.
He's not here.
What,
I know.
What do you want? Water.
I need help. Can you
Help-
take
help
some of
how?
these bodies with you?
What do you mean? Take them with me.
Go hide them in that other room that they're not supposed to enter ever?
You just see him kind of try to pick the first one up. It looks like it just kind of slides on the blood a little bit, and he has a little bit of difficulty picking it up. But the second one, he's able to just kind of throw over his shoulder and drag it into the room.
And I'm cleaning up the blood as we go.
I imagine he's a Roomba for blood. Okay. Anybody else? Anna, you doing anything? Traston, you doing anything with the bodies, or you just kind of still listening at the door?
I'm gonna go help them pull the bodies out and to that room, and when we're done, I'm just gonna kind of sit down in there and wait.
Okay, just give me a strength check to see what happens. And you're still raging, so...
I will take the first one, 21.
Okay.
We'll try to fireman's carry 2 at a time.
Yep. You're able to kind of pick up one on each shoulder. Kind of looks a little awkward as some of them are missing limbs for your previous investigations. Grabbing every bit of person you can and throwing them into that room. It takes a little
Did
bit
their
of time,
armor
but
have?
Go ahead.
Did their armor have like the 4 symbol on
Yeah.
them, or are these just like hired mercenaries?
Yeah, Traston found basically a symbol of the 4th on each one of them.
Okay. All right. Did we get them all?
Yep, takes a little bit of time, probably about 10-15 minutes for you guys to drag them in as cautiously and calmly as you can.
Before
Elred.
the next watch comes around?
Edward kind of hunkering down in that room now. So,
All right.
what do you guys want to do?
Shut the door. And then discuss battle tactics.
Okay, anybody resting or anything?
I think we
Yeah.
all need to rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I was going to take a short rest while we were discussing.
Okay. So as you guys just kind of sit down to kind of discuss what your next plans are and just kind of try to take it easy after your last couple of combats. You guys start to discuss what happens next with the layout of the mansion in hand and the itinerary from the guards and what they are supposed to explore and what they shouldn't. We'll pick up there next week.
Yay!
Wasn't a cliffhanger this time,
Nope.
but okay. So, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today. Again, the music brought to you by Tabletop Audio. We will be back next week with our next installment. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.